In the spring of 1896, a young Englishwoman made a long journey to the frontier of Western Canada. Touched by the sudden beauty of the West and its freedom, Irene would adopt this new country as her home. Irene was an unlikely homesteader, a woman of education and privilege. But a strong backbone and a powerful sense of duty would make her a leading voice for farm women and families, and one of Canada's most distinguished women leaders.
I got interested in Irene Parlby because I was interested in the famous five. They were 5 women from Alberta. They took on Section 24 of the BNA Act and made it possible for women to be persons who could be senators. Irene Parlby took on the cause of rural women, and she did it because she was a cultured, educated, capable woman.
In Edmonton, a judge named Emily Murphy had launched a petition to the Supreme Court concerning the eligibility of women to sit in the Canadian Senate. Murphy needed 5 signatures to mount a petition to the Supreme Court to ask for a ruling on the definition of persons. From Alberta, she chose Nellie McClung, famous writer and suffragette, Louise McKinney, a leader in the women's Christian temperance movement, Henrietta Muir Edwards, a champion of law reform for women and children, and Irene Parlby. The Supreme Court ruled against the petitioners. Murphy and colleagues appealed to the Privy Council in England, and on October 18, 1929, Lord Sankey announced the Privy Council's decision. Women should indeed be considered persons under the BNA Act and be eligible for appointment to the Canadian Senate. Murphy, McClung, McKinney, Muir Edwards, and Irene Parlby would become known as the famous 5, who fought and won a major victory for all Canadian women.
Observe the laws of Canada and fulfill my duties as a Canadian